Hello, dear friends. Adventure lifts our spirits, but routine bores us. Now there is no reason to get bored because surprises come out every day. Opinion piece, epic days, news cycle, reckoning, like a movie. Some are afraid. Controlled demolition. Trump's tripwires. Return of common sense. The swamp loses the battle. Much madness is coming. The gods enter the arena. Restoration of natural law. The world's greatest show. Revolution of collective consciousness. Let's start. The next few days will be epic. Epic means great, heroic, glorious, or out of the ordinary. Frequencies, vibrations, and astrologers predict that the next few weeks will bring positive changes for us and bad news for the dark side. There are many things happening that incite optimism. Let's enjoy the moment, but the battle is still going on. The police are on the streets to control the demonstrations. The news is so loud that I have to tone it down to avoid swear words. The current situation seems like a science-fi horror movie. According to Joe Allen, the stockade is open. The gods are entering the arena. All of this is happening now and quickly. To prevent China from taking the lead, they say we must build digital gods better than China. According to the Holy Blood Tent, you are witnessing the greatest show on earth. More than 200,000 actors wearing masks and voice modulators participated in this production to wake you up. According to Mike Benz, we are in a movie and many normal people are not going to like the reality one bit. We have lived in a carefully constructed Truman Show, where none of the institutions you know are what you think they are. Revolution of the collective consciousness. After 2020, all the president's men were imprisoned, but at least now the truth has come to light. However, the normies still don't know anything about it, and that's where filmmaker Sing Stone comes into the picture with a must-see documentary series. According to Lorenzo C., two distinct groups are forming: those who believe in MAGA and what it represents, and those who think Trump is the savior. You can be 100% MAGA and still not support everything Trump is doing. It is funny to see Democrats going crazy because Elon Musk has turned off the money tap. Lorenzo C. advice: don't look at the water, look at the sky. They sell us narratives. It seems like they can use airplanes to fall at will. When you are at the crossroads, look right, left, and then up. All the media is giving us pre-written and planned narratives. Let's never forget that we are the plan. We are all tired and frustrated, but we must stay focused on the end goal. According to Michael Snyder, the Trump revolution has thrown the largest movement in the history of the planet into a state of chaos. The government's actions are scaring a lot of people. Our founders wanted us to have a small, limited federal government. Instead, we have the largest, most bloated government in the entire history of the world. But the day of reckoning has come. I didn't think they were capable of accomplishing so much in such a short time. No revolution will succeed unless America returns to God. Divine. According to Poet Docs, sometimes the only answer there is to what you find impossible to explain is that God did it. Teaching of Father John. Those who struggle in this life, the weak, the poor, the humble, the just, those who stand up for what is right, God supports them. Letter from Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano after Trump's victory. Let us begin to make our own this counter-revolution of common sense, rejecting the lies and deceptions of those who seek to subvert the very foundations of natural law after having trampled on divine law. Let us defend the family, children, and the weak. Let us jealously guard our faith, the civilization built on its foundations, and the traditions of our fathers. Astrology. The full moon in Leo roused the lion of Aquarius. During the morning of Super Bowl Sunday, Mercury will be eclipsed by the Sun in a close alignment that astrologers call Cassimi, and that can serve as a harbinger of new truths and a new cycle. According to astrologer Pam Gregory, in 2025, everything will change forever as a cosmic shift unfolds that lasts 1 year every 12,000 years. In her opinion, chromosome 24 will unlock multidimensionality in humankind, analyzes the end of Kali Yuga, the rise of the new human being, and the convergence of galactic energies that will redefine our reality in 2025. Solar flare. Sunspot 3981 erupted again, producing an M7 class solar flare. This adds to an impressive list of more than 20 M-class flares this week. The latest flare halted a coronal mass ejection into space. Unprecedented re-entry of Starlink satellites. What goes up must come down, which could be a problem when thousands of satellites are launched. Since 2018, SpaceX has placed more than 7,000 Starlink satellites in Earth orbit, and they are now beginning to descend. In January alone, more than 120 satellites went out of orbit, creating a shower of fireballs. Opinions. The few can only control the many through mind control, according to Namaste. The controllers made a mistake. What happens next? Asks Saratoga Ocean. Your cell phone is downloading information about you 24/7, according to Edward Snowden. According to Vincent Kennedy, Trump wants to make sure trade routes don't fall into the wrong hands. According to Sorchafal, Trump unleashes his revenge. Hunters become prey. Charges loom for attacks on Elon Musk as Biden seeks protection in Hollywood. In her opinion, Trump continues to drain the bureaucratic swamp. Almost all you said staff will be put on leave in addition to May layoffs. X22 report. The Davos Forum and the Central Bank continue to push their agenda in the EU. This will fail, as will health passports. The Sikh system is being exposed, and they are trying to cover up what they have done. The Karab temple is being brought down on their heads. It will be biblical. The swamp is losing the battle, as their secrets are being exposed. That is why they are trying to delay confirmations. The public will know all soon. Much madness is coming. He adds that the tax side is trying everything they can to stop President Trump because he is exposing their money laundering system. Trump is going to end the tax system that was put in place in 1913. Doge has worked in Medicare and Medicaid centers. where they have gained access to payment and contracted systems. The waste that has been uncovered is astounding. President Trump just issued a memo expressing concern about the rise of autism among children, according to Ezra's Shadow. According to Scott Ritter, Trump is trying to solve the problem in Gaza, but he angered many of his supporters with his claim that he was going to take over Gaza. According to Michael Snyder, DOGE reveals US aid irregularities, election interference, overthrowing governments, censorship of ideas, funding chaos, harassment of politicians, and human exploitation. They have bought off the media. The agency supported revolutions in Ukraine, Georgia, Lebanon, and Kyrgyzstan. According to Elon Musk, this is the only chance to regain control. According to the New York Times, in private meetings and at public events, elected Democrats appear leaderless, rudderless, and divided. They disagree about how often and how firmly to oppose Trump. They have no shared understanding of why they lost the election, let alone how they can win in the future. Breaking news. President Trump will attend the Super Bowl. Google will say goodbye to its diversity policies. Zelensky admits that 58% of donations never reached Ukraine. Officials investigating the health crisis perished in the Washington plane crash. According to Poetdog, the plane crashes of the last few days were a message from the dark side to the new administration that they are vulnerable. According to Jim Stone, the FBI arrested the people who broadcast on CNN the video of the helicopter that crashed into a plane in Washington, D.C. Economy. The price of gold reaches a new historical high due to fears of a trade war. A cashless society can pose significant risks if you are not prepared, according to Dave 68. He advised, don't carry large sums of cash with you, because you could be a victim of asset forfeiture. Bill Gates was one of the top recipients of US aid grants in 2024, according to the Association of Physicians and Surgeons. Will the tariff initiative prevent trade wars and prolonged economic contraction? Asks Sarah Louise in the Financial Post. The SEC has received an official written complaint stating that fiat money is a fraudulent currency and that the government has no authority to sanction it or create paper money. This would be the beginning of the collapse of fiat money. All cryptocurrencies without concrete backing would lose their value. Middle East. Trump says US will control Gaza, and Hamas responds that it will not allow it. The UN asks the international community to support Palestine in the reconstruction of Gaza. Saudi Arabia rejects establishing diplomatic ties with Israel without a Palestinian state. Richard Gere says that the Israeli occupation is destroying the whole world and that there is no defense of this occupation. Europe. Trump's tariffs could derail Europe's growth in 2025. Orban calls US aid's activities a dark conspiracy. Sweden serves as a warning to Britain. 31 attacks in January alone. Angela Rayner to end free speech in Britain over Islamophobia. According to Paul Joseph Watson, more than half of Germans feel unsafe in their own neighborhoods because of refugees. Thousands of people will sue Johnson & Johnson in the UK for the alleged link between talc and cancer. The earth trembles on the Greek island of Santorini, and more than 11,000 people leave the place. Santorini is on alert for an imminent earthquake of great magnitude. Cats have the right to sexual self-determination, a European court rules. Americas. Madrid will host the next Ibero-American Summit in 2026. Mexico deploys more than 2,000 soldiers on its border. Mexico presents strategy to improve the electrical system. Guatemala signs an agreement with the US similar to that of El Salvador to receive deportees. El Salvador offers to receive American convicts. The US says its ships will use the Panama Canal without paying at all, but the Canal Authority denies this. Argentina bans transferring men to women's prisons. Argentina announces its withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Argentina considers leaving the Paris Agreement due to complete fraud and cultural Marxism, in quotes. Several active fires in Argentine Patagonia consume more than 24,000 hectares. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.